Okay. Hello, Houston Apartment Association. I'm so glad you guys were able to join us today for our Membership 101 orientation for management people. My name is Amanda Sherbondi. I'm with the Houston Apartment Association, and I've also got our membership coordinator, Cindy De La Riva, in the back. She's also here. You guys have a team of people, a team of membership people that are always at your service whenever you have questions, you need direction, you need a login for HAA, you just want to know what's going on at HAA, give us a call, send us an email, and we'll be happy to help you. Grab your lunch, sit down, relax. We are going to go through a ton of information about how to get involved with HAA. I know you guys see the boat and you see all the emails that we send out, but you may not be so much involved as far as coming to events or getting on a committee, or maybe you want to and you're not really sure how. This is the place where you're going to learn that at. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a Zoom or a Zoom call, of course, or a Zoom webinar. So we can't see you or hear you, so you're fine if your phone rings or somebody walks into your office. That is totally fine. It is being recorded, so if you want to share this with your team later, or you want to review it, you think you missed something, you can always go back and review it later. We'll post it on our HAA TV YouTube channel. And then, of course, please feel free to ask questions along the way. There is a Q&A at the bottom, or you can raise your hand to let us know if you have a question, but we'll also have a question at the very, very end. So again, let's go ahead and get started. We do have a sponsor today. We can't hold these programs and orientations without our supplier partners. They're very important to our association. Today's sponsor is Dan James with Redevelopment Services. I'm going to ask you guys a really quick question because he is a general contractor, and he wanted me to ask or launch this poll. I'm going to launch it real quick, but what we're going to ask you is, what are the chances the Houston area will receive a direct hit from a named storm in the 2022 hurricane season? Do you think it's below average, above average, average? I mean, it's been really, really hot lately. And so sometimes that tends to cause a little bit of disturbance. So it looks like a couple of you have answered the question. Dan James, what do you think? What's the answer? Dan knows the answers to all of this. So what do you think, Dan?
Everybody's saying right now that 2022 is going to be an above average activity with above average strength. And you're right, it's due to all the early season heat that we're getting. Warm water creates bigger, stronger, more frequent hurricanes.
Absolutely, right. So being prepared is probably something that they need to always have at the top of their mind, right?
Absolutely. It's always better to have a plan than not have a plan.
For sure, for sure. So you want to go and tell us a little bit about what you guys do?
Well, we're a general contractor, as you mentioned, and we specialize in multifamily renovation and repair. In fact, multifamily is pretty much all we do. We have a broad range of services that we offer, including post-disaster recovery, hence my choice for the survey question. We do emergency repairs, but also due diligence and property renovation. If you've identified a property that you're interested in, give us a call. We'll help you take a look at it. Our projects range in size from several thousand to several $1 million, balcony rebuilds to major renovations and repositions. So to that end, we depend on relationships, and we're 100% committed to building not just quality projects, but strong relationships. We know that customer satisfaction is really the key to success. So whether we're working on a little balcony repair or major capital project, we're fully committed to quality service and value. So if you call us, we will help.
Awesome. Very good. Thank you, Dan. I know you've got to get going because you've got preparedness to start thinking about and doing. So we appreciate
Thank you, Amanda. Yes, we're making preparations. You guys have a great day.
You too. Have a good day, Dan. We'll see you soon. Okay, another little quick question I want to ask. This is going to be for our orientators today. They want to know who the audience is today. So I'm going to do another quick launch and ask you guys, how long have you been in the multifamily industry? Less than a year, 2 to 5 years, 6 to 10, 10 to 15, over 16 years? We won't ask you who that is. We won't ask you your name if you answer that question. But let's just see how long you guys have been around. And I'm going to go ahead and it looks like several of you. Wow, we've got a really good mix. So let's see here. It looks like the activity is slowing down. So I'm going to go ahead and share the results. And it looks like I said, we've got a really good mix between less than a year, 2 to 5, all the way over 16 years. So that's awesome. Another quick question I want to ask you guys is, what is your position at your company? Are you leasing? Are you assistant? Are you a property manager? Are you a supervisor? Are you a regional? Are you executive level? Let us know who we're talking to. That way we can see what positions are here, and we can kind of tailor the presentation a little bit to more of what you guys are looking for. Excellent. So it looks like it's slowed down a little bit, and I'll go ahead and share that with our orientation folks. And it looks like we've got mostly property managers and some assistants and then some regionals. So I'm going to introduce our speakers today. We've got our guest host, who is John Boriack. You guys you guys remember John because he was our president from last year. John Boriack founded Veritas Equity Management in 2008 after graduating high school. Since then, John has led his team in the acquisition, renovation, and operation of 7 apartment communities in the Houston area, totaling 1,572 units. This was all with his bare hands. Since 2014, John and his team have won 25 industry awards from the Houston, Texas, and National Apartment Associations. John's company, Veritas Equity Management, has earned a spot on the list of Houston's best and brightest companies to work for the last 8 years, and NAA's best places to work for in the last 3 years. He's been a member of the board of directors for the Houston Apartment Association since 2015 and is currently serving as the association's immediate past president. His other volunteer positions include board of directors for the West Chase Management District, the Texas Apartment Association, where he serves on the legislative committee and chairs the Independent Rental Owners Council Committee. John lives in Tomball, Texas with his wife, Caitlin, and their 3 beautiful children. So thank you, John, for being here. Then we've also got Kathy Clem. Kathy O'Connell Clem, owner of Vast Coaching Resources, Inc., is a multifamily real estate specialist and Texas real estate broker with a Master of Arts in Organizational Management and Development and an evidence-based coaching certification. She is a personal and professional development coach and consultant, and also works as the special projects manager for AAA Apartment Staffing, a nationwide apartment staffing company owned by her mother and sister, Elizabeth and Ann O'Connell. You guys may use them. Over 40+ year professional career, Kathy has managed operations of apartment communities in more than 16 markets throughout the United States, with portfolios of up to 16,000 apartment homes for private, fee-managed, and public companies. As a 40-year volunteer for the HAA, she has chaired many committees, including the Community Outreach, the Education Committee, and has been on the board of directors since 1992, probably longer than some of you have been alive. Serving as president in 2003 and served 2 years on the executive committee at the TAA level. Kathy has recently published her first book, Speak It in Spanish, Workplace Spanish Made Easy for the Multifamily Industry, combining her passion of the language, communication, and engagement to improve engagement and connection in the workplace. Fabulous. You're going to learn a lot today. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Kathy and John. You guys want to take it away?
Thank you, Amanda. Appreciate it. And thank you, John, for joining us today. First of all, let's talk about what we're going to go over today. I know that is going to be a lot of information, but after we're through today, you'll also, if you've registered for the webinar, you'll also get an email with the information that we go over. So, don't worry if you miss some things, because it'll be coming your way so that you'll have it for reference. But first of all, what we're going to review is talk about HAA, our advocacy and our legislative efforts, the professional development opportunities we offer, member programs and resources, our publications, the website features, networking and volunteer opportunities, also supplier partner support and how important it is to our organization. And then at the end, as Amanda said, we'll have another question and answer session just in case you have something come up that you didn't get to ask during the presentation. So let's talk about the mission statement of the Apartment Association. So the Houston Apartment Association is the leading advocate, resource, and community partner for quality rental housing providers in Houston and surrounding areas. I'm going to let John talk about the history of HAA and how we started and how it brought us to where we are today.
Awesome. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, HAA has a rich history that I learn more and more about every year, but we started about 1960, and HAA got its original formation because we had a group of Houston apartment owners were faced with what was being discussed was a tax or a sewer tax that was going to be levied against apartments by the city of Houston. And so these group of apartment owners got together and said, hey, we're going to have a better chance at fighting this if we have one unified voice. So they got together, and the very beginning of HAA was formed. And since then, way over 60 years ago, TAA was formed out of that, the Texas Apartment Association, as well as the National Apartment Association. So it all started right here over 60 years ago. Now, HAA has grown significantly in that time frame, and we actually are comprised of 3 different entities. And it took me a while to figure this out. And so here's kind of what this looks like. There's 3 entities. First off, you have the Houston Apartment Association, which is an entity that's kind of the face of everything. And that's what invoices your companies for like membership dues. And that's the overarching organization. And then you have the Houston Apartment Foundation, which is technically considered a school. It's actually a nonprofit. And so you might see invoices or headlines for seminars and classes coming from the Houston Apartment Foundation. And then lastly, there's the Houston Multi-Housing Corporation, which is a for-profit entity that offers HAA kind of ancillary or extra products and services like form sales, advertising, the job board, and things like that. So don't get confused if you see those different names. It's all one group. We just, for tax and legal reasons, they have to separate it out into 3 different entities.
Right. Well, and let's talk about how big we are too. First of all, we are the largest apartment association in the United States. Am I right, Amanda?
Whoop.
Yeah.
That is correct.
And we to date, we have 666,973 units that we represent. That's in 3,200 properties. We also have 912 management companies that are members and 798 supplier member companies. So that gives us a lot of strength in numbers and really helps us keep a robust association so that we can support all of our members. Now, in addition to Harris County, which is large in itself, HAA represents 12 counties in and around the Houston area. So if you look at this map, you'll see the large area that we represent. And over the years, as we've grown, what we've done is we've added resources so that each of the counties that we represent, that we provide them specific resources to help them. So you have that information and you have access to it. And also we've taken programs out to those areas so that you can have the same benefits no matter where you're located within our area. And John, you want to tell them about how our memberships work?
Yeah, so if you are on this call, you are a member of the Houston, Texas, and National Apartment Association. So if the owner or management company pays dues for a property to be a member, then all the employees of that property are a member, or if the company is a member, then the employees of that company are automatically members. So you are an HAA member, and by being a member of HAA, you are by default also a member of the Texas Apartment Association and the National Apartment Association. And so there's a lot of confusion sometimes around like, oh, can I go to this, or am I a member of that? You are a member, you're in.
And let's talk about our leadership. We have a board of directors that is 60 strong, and we have a executive committee that's set up with a president-elect, treasurer and secretary, and then we have vice presidents at large that also support that executive group. And John, as the immediate past president, is also part of the executive committee. This year, our 2022 president is Christy Rodriguez. Stephanie Graves is our president-elect, and Gina Irwin is the secretary treasurer. And as you can see by the slide, there's pictures and the names of our 5 vice presidents at large. And they stay busy. And also, on this slide, there's also Howard Bookstaff, who's the general counsel for the Apartment Association, and Casey Watts Morgan, who's the CEO. Then as far as our staff, we have 18 staff members. You see their pictures and names here. And we have several departments within the association to help with your needs that include membership, public affairs, professional development, communication, outreach, accounting, and resident relations. And they're very hard. This is a very hardworking group of people. And you can imagine with representing over 600,000 apartments in our area, they put in a lot of hours to make sure that we get the support that we need to keep our organization strong and to keep our industry strong. But part of that, and a large part of what we do also is our advocacy. And John's going to tell you about our advocacy efforts.
Yeah, so advocacy, in my opinion, is the most important thing that HAA does. It's the biggest impact that we have in all of our daily lives as we go about our jobs. So HAA, TAA, and NAA are all very actively involved in the legislative process. That means they advocate for or against different bills that are presented. They will endorse candidates that are, friendly towards apartment owners. They will, weigh in on different city ordinances that are talking about getting passed, fire codes at the county level, everything you can think of. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes. And so, but the HAA membership dues cannot go directly to support the PAC, the Political Action Committee. The PAC membership is separate from your HAA membership. And PAC membership comes from individual people, not from big corporations. So in addition to being a member of HAA, you also have the opportunity to individually join the HAA PAC, or the HAA Political Action Committee. You can kind of see here some things that the PAC does. There's lots of advocacy. As I mentioned, it's done promoting policies that are friendly towards our industry. And we prevent bad things from happening and try to get good things happening. That's the simplest way to put it. Some examples of that in recent times is the Texas Apartment Association, with cooperation from all the locals, got a bill defeated or a bill passed that protected owners from class action late fee lawsuits. We've prevented property tax increases. We defeated a bill that would have prohibited property owners from having access to prospective residents' eviction records, which is kind of important if you're wanting to evaluate whether someone's a good prospect or not. And I don't know if you know this, but Houston is one of the only major metros in Texas that did not have a local eviction moratorium through the COVID process. That was a very rare thing. We kind of got used to it here, but there's other jurisdictions and other major metros in Texas that are still reeling and trying to climb out of the hole of local eviction moratoriums. And our advocacy team here locally was able to ward off that from happening here in Houston and the surrounding area. So it makes a huge impact on our daily lives. So much of it goes on behind the scenes where you don't see it. It's not as public, but it's so important. And then I think I'll talk about the different ways that HA makes an impact. Also, in addition to that, trying to work on PR and the public's image of our industry and the great benefit that we provide to the community. In the last 12 months, HAA members and staff have performed, to get this, over 250 media interviews with TV stations, radio broadcasts, print, everything you can imagine of talking about rental assistance programs, eviction moratoriums, and much, much more. I did a good chunk of those last year when I was president, and it's incredible the connections that the advocacy team is able to build and connect with local news outlets and the public to try to get or to clearly communicate how our industry works and how we can be inadvertently hampered by bad policies when those get passed. So super duper important. If there's anything I hope you walk away from today with, it's how important the PAC is, and that we would love for you to be a member. Membership starts at $100 per year, and then luncheons are $40 each. But if you want to check out a PAC meeting for free, you can without being a member. You get a pass to check one out and just pay the $40 for the luncheon. I highly encourage you to do that. If you do anything else, that's a fantastic way to get, even just stay informed with local politics, who to vote for when you go to the ballot, and it's great networking as well.
Great, thank you. And separate from our advocacy, we also at the Houston Apartment Association have a very strong professional development group for education courses. And our offerings include credentials for CALP, CAM, CAPS, CAMT, IROP, and CAS designations that are national designations. We also have Avenues training courses. These are great training courses that are offered on individual or subscription basis. If you have paid for a year for a property, your employees can attend, and it's unlimited attendance for general management topics, maintenance for managers, leadership and marketing. And this is a great way, whether you're with a smaller organization or a large company, to have additional development opportunities for your employees so they can grow within the industry and within your organization. Other training that HAA offers is Leasing 101. So if you know of someone that may be interested in the business, but maybe needs to know more, Leasing 101 is great. It gives them a good overview, and and when that person goes out to look for a job in the industry, it shows that they've put forward that extra effort to get that extra training. Also, we have fair housing, technology training, certified pool operator, and more. The great thing about the Houston Apartment Association and our strong membership is we also offer grants for all of our credentialing courses. So whether your company subsidizes or pays for you to become a certified apartment manager or a certified apartment maintenance technician, you can download an application from the HAA website and complete it to get a grant that pays for the classes. So that's a great way, not just to help yourself with development, but also help your company with managing their development costs. So if you're interested, go on the website, download an application. If you have any questions as you're filling it out, just contact HAA and they'll be glad to help you with that. And then, of course, anybody that's been in the industry for a year or more, I'm sure is familiar with our educational conference and trade show. This held annually. We normally have over 2,000 attendees. We have education and motivation in the morning. Then we have a networking luncheon that's followed by the free expo that had this year over 250 exhibitors. So let's go ahead and save the date now for 2023 for May 18th at the NRG Center. I'm going to let John talk about some of the other programs that HAA offers.
Yeah, so we talked about HAA does the PAC and advocacy piece, and then there's the education and professional development piece. And I would say those are the two kind of cornerstones of what HAA offers. But in addition to those big cornerstones are some really impactful, smaller programs that are more niche-y and are very helpful to those who take advantage of them. So one of them is our Click and Lease program. This is the Texas Apartment Association lease and how it's provided to properties. The HAA still prints them if you need them, as well as the addendums. Most people get them online through our partner with Blue Moon Software, and you have to be a member of HAA to be able to purchase the lease. In addition to that, we have our ACEs program, which is geared toward apartment executives and supervisors. It's some very high-level education, networking, and luncheons that are quarterly and very timely topics. Our RCR, rental credit reporting program, it's been around since 1977, and it's like an extra level of apartment screening, and it's a lot more timely than what's often available through public databases that can help you more quickly and efficiently screen applicants. And then our Blue Star Safety Program, which is a joint effort with Houston Police Department, and they will come out and help get your property Blue Star certified, and they'll help work with you to put some safety policies in place, and then you'll have the ability to advertise that you are a Blue Star certified property.
Great. Some of our other programs include our outreach. We offer meetings, education, and networking in outlying areas that I mentioned when we looked at the map of the very large area that we cover. Our vice presidents at large are very focused on making sure that we offer specialized meetings and education in these outlying areas, and also making sure that online resources are available. So if you're outside of Harris County and are a member of HAA, please make sure that you check the website or the weekly updates that you get from HAA to see if there's something going on in your area that you could benefit from. We also have several awards programs. Our honors awards are held annually for individuals and property recognition for outstanding service and products. every 4 years, we have the 40 under 40 awards, and this is that year. And that recognizes outstanding young professionals in our industry. We have a young professionals group, the HAA Next. It's a very strong group within our organization that provides education and networking for young professionals. They meet for breakfast, happy hours several times a year, and have put on some really good programs that have included all of the members that have just really been very enjoyable. And then annually, we have our business exchange. It's like speed dating for management companies and suppliers. It's like a reverse trade show where the management members have a table and the different suppliers go around, and in 5-minute increments, they tell people at the table about their services, about what they do. And it gives the suppliers sometimes an opportunity that they may not have to meet with management company executives to tell them about their products. And I've been on the management company side several years with the business exchange, and every time I've left having so much more information about the services that some of our members offer, and based on that, I've used them from being involved in the business exchange. So if you have an opportunity to participate in that, make sure that you do.
Cool. So in addition to those programs, which are awesome, HAA also has some additional resources that you can take advantage of as a member. The first is the Red Book, and I know that's a cody or jargon word, but the Red Book is the comprehensive, I'm going to call it online textbook to help guide you as you interact with your residents. It's got answers and tips and tricks for all kinds of scenarios. It's super helpful. We also have our resident relations committee, which, as to my knowledge, HAA is the only affiliate that has a resident relations department, which I think is awesome. So HAA will actually field calls from residents and managers if managers have questions about a specific scenario. And there's a committee of industry peers that will help kind of determine how that situation should be handled. And it's an excellent resource for both renters and managers, especially renters who want to know, like, hey, this seems weird. Can I get a group of industry peers to help evaluate this? So that's awesome. They provide that. We mentioned that HAA serves a lot of counties in the different Harris County, and we actually will take mini HAA programs out to the surrounding counties and get local appraisal districts or JPs or permitting inspection departments, constables, fire departments, everything you can talk about to come and talk about issues specific to that area or that county. And so we have staff that spends an enormous amount of time traveling and making HAA available in all the different counties that HAA serves. And then lastly, we have our building rental. HAA has some incredible meeting spaces that are available to members to rent out for different budget camps or trainings that need to happen. There's a computer lab with up to 24 stations you can rent. So really handy resource there as well.
Great, thank you. And on the Red Book, this is the last year. The Red Book there was a Red Book update this year. It was pretty significant, and it has an online version, but this is the last year that the Red Book will be printed as a hard copy format. So if you're the kind of person that likes to keep it on your desk or have it for reference in a hard copy, you'll need to order one this year. If not, you'll still have access to it as a member online. And then that brings us, since we're talking about publications, specific Houston Apartment Association publications. We have the Abode magazine that comes out monthly. It has a lot of information about what's going on in our industry from a state, local, and national basis. It keeps you up to date with calendars on what's going on, what our members and suppliers are doing. And it's a great way to keep up with what's going on in our industry locally. So if you're not getting one, call HAA. They'll make sure that you're on the list. And I think there's also a link for an online version. We also have a directory and buyer's guide, which I kept that next to my Red Book all the time. And that also is part of your membership dues. And do you want to do this now, Amanda? Do you want to go and look at this now, the online version, or do you want to wait till we get to the website part?
Since we're talking about it, I can do it right now.
Okay,
I'm going to show you guys, and you guys probably already know about this, but the HAA Buyer's Guide is actually online. You can get to it from anywhere, your mobile device, your computer, your tablet. This is it. It's HAABuyersGuide.com. You'll go here. It looks pretty simple. If you're looking for, I don't know, a general contractor, let's just say that you had a flood or something, and you want to go and look and see which HAA members are part of our organization that can help you out. So you'll see all of the list of current members. These are all active. If you're ever out recruiting and you want to, let's just say you have a pest control guy that you want to get active with HAA, they will be on this immediately. So they don't have to wait for that printed book to come out every year. They'll be here. They'll be able to get in the categories that they wish. It'll have their website. It'll have their email address. And the very cool feature about our website is that if you wanted to reach out and get some requests for bids, you would use this little request for information tool. You'll just click the box of the people that you want to send out a request to, and you'll notice that it's got this little running tab here for you to see who you're contacting. So you'll click that, and then you'll click create request. And all it will do is you'll put your company name in here. I'm just flip-flapping your name, your email, your phone number, put your message in here, and then all of the recipients will receive the same message at the same time. So you're only sending it one time. I'm not going to hit send because this will actually go to them. But this is a great option for you if you're in a hurry and you just need some quick bids on something. The HAA Buyer's Guide will be able to help you with that.
Also, if you want to order a printed version, there's a click right there where you can click order a printed version also.
Correct. Yeah. Or if you want to see it online, you can click on that tab and it'll show up here. So it will be digital as well if you wanted to just look at it online. And then there was another thing I was going to show. Where did it go? No,
I've been using the buyer's guide for years and never knew about that request for information tool. I cannot wait to use that. That's so handy.
Wait a minute. You mean till you were today years old?
I was today years old when I saw that request for information feature. I was the president and I just learned about that.
No, when we started doing this, this webinar, the first time we went through it, I said, wait a minute, what do you mean? Show that to me? I mean, same thing. I did not know that it was online either. And to me, this is a wonderful, wonderful tool.
Yeah, great. I'm glad it's helpful. Look at that. John, you learn something new every day.
That's right.
So, and then yes, if you wanted to just look up a company name, you're like, oh, I don't know how to get their contact information. Just type it up in the search, and then the list will come up. So yeah, very cool feature. Save it in your favorites online, and then yeah, like I said, it's live. So it's everybody that shows up here is an actual member.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Now, the last publication that we do is the compensation and benefits report, and that's done every 2 years, right, Amanda? Do you know?
I believe that's correct.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, I've muted myself. Yes, that is correct. Every 2 years.
And it can be downloaded for free for members. This gives you average salaries and compensation packages that are customary for our area. So, but you do need to have login access. The 2021 report is now available on our website. And can you talk to them about how to get login? Because each person on the property can have their own login, correct?
That is correct. So yeah, if you guys do not have a login, just simply go to haaonline.org and you will click on the sign in page. And if you don't have a username, you can just either click forgot username or forgot password, and it will send you something. If you're not sure, if you don't know if you have one, just email webreg@haaonline.org and they will send you over a username and password so that you can access the member side of the website. So you'll be able to go once you log in, you'll be able to register for events and meetings. You'll be able to download the compensation and benefit survey that Kathy just mentioned, which is a members only benefit. Plus, you'll also be able to pay invoices if you want to do that. The other thing, there's some other online resources that are here that are of members only. One of those, some of those were the COVID resources. We didn't want the media to be able to see what we were telling you. So some of those things were hidden from the public because it was truly a member benefit for that information for us to be able to send that out. But the other thing is you'll be able to update your profile. There's other little things that you can do if you log into HAA. Real quick, Kathy, you were talking about resources online, or I think it was John, when we were talking about
The different counties.
Correct. So if you go to the resources page under the advocacy tab, you'll see tons of resources here. It could be state, federal, local laws and regulations. There's resources by city. There's resources by county. If you're looking for a particular, let's just say you're looking for the new towing rules or the new pool signage requirements, all of that information is here for you. All you got to do is just click on it and peruse through it. Also, if you've got a question and you're not really sure about where to find it or what it's called or who to ask, you can always email our government affairs team. There's 3 of them that work in that department. They're tirelessly working on updating all of our resources on our website. And I believe Cindy will put that email address in the chat so that you can access it and just save it somewhere just in case you ever have a question.
Yeah, I recommend bookmarking this website on your computers too, because there's so many great resources within this website that it could be a real go-to.
For sure, for sure.
John, you want to talk to us about social media?
Absolutely. Yeah. Social media is very important and we are big on it. This is a great way to stay connected and stay informed of what's going on at HAA and with your peers as well. So on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, you can just look for Houston Apartment Association or HAA online, and we'll be posted there. And you get lots of cool photos from events, as well as announcements about classes coming up and things like that. And then in Facebook, there's also a group page called the Houston Apartment Association. There's one that's a public facing page that's like HAA in the news, and different times we've been featured speaking out about the industry. But then there's also a private group that's just industry peers where we can share more industry sensitive information that's real important to stay in tune with. And then lastly, we have the YouTube channel. So the HAA YouTube channel is HAA TV. And you can subscribe with that to keep up with our weekly announcements videos, as well as previously recorded educational sessions and things like that. So great ways to stay plugged in and connected. And then lastly, we have, or not lastly, but lastly for me, we have our networking and team building opportunities. This is probably one of the bigger benefits that you have being a member of HAA is networking and team building. So there's a plethora of events that HA staff puts on, gives you a chance to network and team build with your team, as well as we get to meet other people in the industry. So examples of some upcoming events, and these just a few in the next few months. We have our bowling tournament here in about a week. The Extreme Certified Apartment Maintenance course, which means it gets done quickly in a week, starts on July 21st. We have Maintenance Appreciation Night, which I believe is going to a Dynamo game this year. That'll be August 31st. Our 40 under 40 competition or celebration is September 15th. And then Chili Fest, which is a super fun event, is on October 22nd. And that's just in the next couple of months. There are events like this all throughout the year. So get on the email lists and social media to be able to stay abreast of what's coming up next.
Great. Thank you, John. Some other ways that you can get involved is to join a committee. And, committees, it can be anything from attending meetings, events, activities, or helping to develop the market strategies and engagement strategies. Community outreach is a large group that's responsible for developing and coordinating existing and new community service events and projects. They head up the All-Star Sports Challenge and the annual food drive that benefits the Houston Food Bank and the Pet Rescue Bank. I've been involved in community outreach for years, and it's a really great program. Also, there's special clubs and projects. One of the things that I can suggest right now that would be great for you to try out is the Go-Getters. Go-Getters recruit new members to our organization, and they meet during the year for campaigns and to talk about the new members and give them the new members an opportunity to learn more about our organization. Also, you can write an article for the abode. As John talked about earlier, you can join the PAC committee. Now, some of these, there may be limited seating, or you may need to reach out to someone at HAA to find out what you need to do to get involved. But whatever you do, just send an email to HAA or make a call to HAA and talk to someone, because they'll help guide you to see what best fits with your time commitment, your schedule, and your interests to get you more involved in the organization. But John,
Awesome. Okay.
you went through, John.
Lastly, for real this time. I will save the best for last. So huge piece of HAA is our supplier partners. So our suppliers corporately spend over $1.5 million a year on sponsorships, advertising, PAC contributions, and being involved with HAA. They are awesome. That is the heartbeat of the organization, and we are so thankful for them. And so thank them when you see them, because we would not be here without them. There's a group of suppliers called the HAA ambassadors, and they are people who visit properties or make phone calls on behalf of HAA to make sure that you're aware of benefits that the membership has or upcoming events. So if you're lucky enough to have one of them contact you, please take a moment to chat with them and see what they have to say. And then our Product Service Council, or PSC, if you hear that term thrown around, that's a group of suppliers that help guide and counsel other suppliers on how to tackle the multifamily industry and navigate HAA and get the most out of that. So like I said, our suppliers work very hard and spend a lot of time and money to help HAA be successful. They're here to support the industry. And so please thank them when you see them, and thank them for their contributions.
Great.
All right, I think we're up for some questions.
Right. Yeah, you guys did a great job. We were monitoring the chat a little bit, so we had questions there that we were able to answer. But does anyone else have a question out there that they want to put out? Something that maybe we didn't cover? Think about it and let me know, or put it in the chat, like I said, and Cindy will get to it. But in the meantime, let's give away some prizes. How many people were actually paying attention to some of the things that Kathy and John talked about?
No pressure.
No pressure at all. Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask you 3 questions, and the first person to get the answer correct in the chat will win a $10 Starbucks gift card. So get your fingers ready at your chat, and let's go ahead and go with the first question. What company was our sponsor today? Let's see. Do we have, does anybody remember who our sponsor was? If you want to put it in the chat. Let's see. Got it. Mitra Miller. Very good. You won a $10 gift card to Starbucks. Redevelopment Services was our sponsor for today. So congratulations on that. We will reach out to you and send that to you in the mail. Let's see. The question number 2. How many counties does HAA cover? Do you guys remember that? I think we said it. Very good. Angelica Ariano, 12 counties. It's a huge part. We cover every county around us except for Galveston. Galveston, believe it or not, has their very own association. And then the last question, we'll reach out to you, Angelica, and send you your gift card. Final question, what is the website address for the online buyer's guide? If you can actually put the actual website address in there, that will be the correct answer. Do we remember? The website address for the online buyer's guide. Very good. Lisa Ladewig, hopefully I said that correctly, HAAbuyersguide.com. That is going to be your go-to resource whenever you are looking for a product or a service that is a member of the Houston Apartment Association. We'll reach out to you and send you your gift card. Kathy and John, you guys are amazing. Kathy, you want to close us out though?
Yes, here is all of the contact information for the Apartment Association. If you have any questions, contact members at HAA Online. Don't forget the website, bookmark it. And John, thank you so much for helping today. I know your day is busy, and I appreciate you taking time to help me today.
For sure. Happy to do it.
Thank you for joining us, everyone, and have a great afternoon.
Randy Lee, we will reach out to you with your question. He's asking about any work done on the crazy hazard and flood insurance premiums in Houston. That is a loaded question. So we will have one of our government affairs teams reach out to you shortly. So we'll get that question answered for you. Thank you guys so much. Sorry we went over. If you ever need anything, remember it's members@haonline.org, and we'll be happy to point you in the right direction. Have a good day. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Mhm.